Hi, and welcome to Josh and Tim Talk Sports. I'm Tim Shire. We got Tommy Shire here tonight. My broadcast partner, Chuck Kolchuk. Josh is off. We couldn't do the show on Tuesday. Tommy and I were unavailable. Josh was unavailable tonight, so it's going to be Chuck, Tommy, and I. We've got picks. We were going to have a guest, Joey Schneider, and then he couldn't come. So I've got Josh and Joey's picks. We're going to pick 15 NFL games. We got the Army-Navy game, and we have 2 college games, Alabama and Purdue, and Ohio State at Penn State. So, but first we'll talk about what I can't pronounce his first name. The guy the Guardians got in the
Arizona.
Yeah, is it
Rule 5 draft?
Division?
Dave Davison or something like that. Dino Santos. Yeah, so he looks like a pretty good prospect. He did really well at Double-A this year. If you hit a Double-A, you're usually can hit.
Matt Laporta was opposite.
Well, yeah, he's
He broke it like 45 home runs every year. Double and Triple-A come up and hit 110.
Yeah, and then and they traded Oscar Gonzalez in a waiver deal to the Yankees, which oh boy.
With that lineup, he can do some damage.
He's not even going to start.
He's got protection.
Now that they traded for Soto.
Well, their outfielders never stay healthy, so.
Yeah, but they have Soto, Judge, Giancarlo
Judge is going to miss time. He always
and Giancarlo Stanton will play like 30 games.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's not going to be a starter.
Well, but he's also going to have protection when he is.
Yeah.
You know, he had 2 guys here. Naylor and
Stanton don't play better. He's not going to make it through the year anyway.
Well, they'll keep him because they're paying him a lot. So, but I think this is last year of his contract. Pretty sure. But so you know that we had that with the Guardians. The Cavs won last night.
First pick in the draft.
Yes, the Guardians won the draft lottery.
First time in team history.
Some of the crap I've been hearing, people. They won't sign whoever they draft. The Dolans have signed every first round pick they ever drafted.
They'll be fine.
The Jacobs didn't.
What I think is so funny is people are so annoying, and it says the guy's name and it says can't wait to see him on the Yankees in 2037.
Are you serious?
Or 2032 or something. I'm like, shut up.
Like, come on. If you hate the team that much, you're not a fan. You're not. If you're constantly going to be negative.
Correct.
You know. So, but we're gonna move on because we got to get this thing show on the road tonight.
Chuck's first tonight, right?
We got so I've got to get these picks up here. I've got Joey and Josh. I've got on my phone. I got to get mine here, and then we can get moving.
46 leagues.
Yeah, I got a few. All right, so first we're gonna go with the. Let's go with the Army-Navy game first. We'll give Joey. Well, Chuck, you go first.
I'm going to go with Army.
I'll give theirs last.
I'm going to go with Army.
You're going with Army?
I'm going with Army.
Joey and Josh are both going with Army. Who are you going with, Tom?
I guess I'm going to pick Army. They're both 5 and 6.
Okay. And I'm picking Army too.
All right.
So we all picked Army. And then
you never know in those games either.
No, it's
yeah. I mean, one of them could be 10-0 and the other could be 0-10. It's still a
It's still a crapshoot.
So now the next game, the annoying guy on the Ohio State basketball game last Friday would say, we got Alabama at Purdue. This guy was he drove me nuts. Like the way he said Alabama, he was a fill-in. He was filling in for Paul Keels because Paul Keels was getting ready to do the Ohio State Michigan game. It was like someone was sticking a needle through my head. It was hard.
Alabama's pretty good. And Ohio State beat them. So.
But I'm going with.
Or Chuck's going with.
With Chuck, we'll go Chuck first. What do you got, Chuck? Alabama versus Purdue.
I'm going with Purdue.
Okay. And then we got Joey and Josh both picked Purdue.
I'm going to go with Purdue also.
Yeah, so am I. I'm going to go with the Boilermakers. with their big man, who is great,
It's
but
really
he won't
good.
be good in the pros.
Zach Edey.
I just don't think he'll be good in the pros. He seems like a nice kid and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's huge.
He doesn't move.
He's
fast.
like 7'2".
I don't think he's quick enough for the NBA.
Yeah, but Yao Ming didn't move fast either.
Yeah, he was deceptively fast. Let's get to the final college basketball game of the week. We have Ohio State at Penn State. What have you got, Chuck? Ohio State. Chuck's going with Ohio
Right
State.
there.
And I believe Josh and they're both going with Ohio State. Josh and Joey, Tommy.
Ohio State struggles against Penn State
They
basketball for some reason, even when they're way better than them, which they are way better than them right now. But I'm gonna pick Ohio State.
Yeah.
Feels different this year so far.
Yeah. It felt different at this time last year, and then it collapsed.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Ohio State too. Come on. Penn State is still Penn State in basketball. They've had some good players, but they're still Penn State, and you still got to just go there and beat them. You got to make Happy Valley a sad place. So now we're going to go to the National Football League. We've got tonight's game, the Thursday night game, on Amazon. What do you call it? Amazon
Prime.
Bad Pixel Network.
I haven't seen a good game on that. A good picture on that network
Last
yet.
week it wasn't terrible, but
think
I
it's
didn't
slowly
watch the
gotten
whole
better, but
thing.
They still suck.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. With all the money that company has,
It's
that should be the best broadcast on TV.
it's despicable.
But we've got Bill Belichick's New England Patriots
Excuse me.
at Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers. What do we got, Chuck?
I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Steelers. Okay. And Joey is going with the Steelers. Oh no, Josh is going with the Steelers. Well, and so is Joey. They're both going with the Steelers. What do you got, Tom?
It'd be freaking hilarious if the Steelers lost to the Patriots after losing to the Cardinals, but I'm picking the Steelers.
Yeah, I can't see that. The Patriots are really
They're bad, but so are the Cardinals. So.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like the Steelers are better with Mitch Trubisky than Kenny Pickett. I just feel they are.
Maybe.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, we will. We'll see. They can't beat the Patriots.
He's gonna be starting the rest of the year.
Yeah. So then we have the Lions at the Bears. We've got Jesus. The Lions at the Bears. I'm looking here because Joey doesn't exactly have them in the same order we do. Well, you know what? You know why Joey doesn't have them in the same order we do? He doesn't have the Lions at Bears game. Oh yeah, he does. There we go. He's got the Lions. I'm sorry. He's got the Lions, and so does Josh. What do you got, Tommy?
I have the Lions.
Sorry.
Lions.
I screwed
I
that
don't
up.
think this game will be very close. So.
It shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't.
If it was like the old Thanksgiving games and they played each other, it'd be
Yeah.
like 3-0. And how about the Lions, though, on Thanksgiving, Chuck?
They're just bad on Thanksgiving.
There's no
It's
way they should have
unbelievable.
lost.
No,
that game.
unbelievable.
It's
I-
like they see Thanksgiving coming and they collapse. It was truly unbelievable. I was so
More
disappointed.
worried about the turkey than they were winning the game.
Boy, I'm telling you. Well, then we've got the next game. We've got the Indianapolis Colts at the Cincinnati Bengals. What have you got, Chuck?
I went with the Bengals. I went with the home team.
Yeah, so did Joey. Josh went with the Colts. Who do you go with, Tommy?
I go with the Colts because I think they're a pretty good team.
I'm going with the Bengals. I almost feel like sometimes, and I'm just saying this, nobody should get offended. I just feel like sometimes both you and Josh pick against the AFC North team because you want them to lose.
The Colts have a better record than them.
Okay, they do, but I think the Bengals' backup quarterback is better than the Colts' backup.
I don't think he is.
I
Bro,
think so.
he plays one freaking game and does well.
We'll see.
Minshew's played well a lot of games
Okay.
this year, and
We'll
we want to
see.
say this guy's
I don't think the Colts are that
That's
good.
insane.
Other teams have played bad against
That's
them.
insane.
The Browns played bad against them,
Maybe
even though the Browns
Why
won.
do teams play bad against teams sometimes?
Just because.
Because they're
they
good?
Go down to their lower.
Because
lower
they're
level.
good?
Tampa Bay should have beat them too, and they didn't.
But they didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the Bengals will beat them.
They won't.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Everybody overhypes that team.
Oh, okay. You just think.
They're not as good
If
as
they weren't in
overall,
the
and this
AFC
guy's
North,
not
you
that
wouldn't
good.
dislike them as much as you do.
Well,
Let's go with the
obviously.
Let's go with the Panthers Saints. Is the next game. What have you got, Chuck?
Saints at home.
Okay. And Josh and Joey both picked the Saints. What do you got, Tom?
Saints.
I picked the Saints also. By the way, before we give all the picks, Josh and I only had one pick different. So, yeah. I did my picks right before I sent you guys a message last night. And then Josh sent me his right away. And I texted him back. That game, the Colts-Bengals game, is the only game we have different.
Yeah, well, right now, none of us have. We're all pretty close so far.
Yeah. So then we've got the Texans at the Jets. What have you got, Chuck?
Even though Zach Wilson's coming back, not Texans.
You got the Texans? Joey and Josh both have the Texans. What do you got, Tom?
I specifically have the Texans because Zach Wilson's coming back.
That's what I mean.
Well, I've got the Texans because they're better.
Well, that too.
Yeah. And the Jets can't get out of their own way. Don't worry, they'll do something stupid. And the looks on Robert Sala's face during Jets games are priceless. Like, did we really just do that? Like, oh my gosh.
They're gonna fire him too.
Man, which is terrible.
So
Which is terrible because it's not his fault.
Yeah, I think he's going to get fired at the end of the year.
Oh,
he's a good coach too.
he is. He'll get hired by somebody else. Then we got the Rams at the Ravens. What do you got, Chuck?
I think this will be a closer game than people think, but I did take the Ravens at home. As much as I hate to say that stupid team.
Yeah. Tommy?
I picked the Ravens just because it's in Baltimore.
So did you. So did Josh and Joey and me. I'm like Chuck. I hate picking the Ravens, but I hate getting a game wrong too. Vikings at Raiders. Chuck?
I think this is going to be a tight game, and the Raiders have been playing better. I took the Raiders at home.
Did you? Okay. Tommy?
I got the Vikings.
You got the Vikings? Okay. Joey has the Raiders. Josh has the Vikings. And so there. I've got the Vikings too. So we've got Seahawks at 49ers. What do we got, Chuck?
Wow. 49ers looked really good last week. And I think they're going to continue to roll. I took the 49ers.
Okay. They both have the 49ers, Joey and Josh, and so do I. What do you have, Tom?
I also have the 49ers.
Okay. Now we got Bills at the Chiefs. What do you have, Chuck?
I took the Chiefs at home.
Okay. Joey picked the Bills. Josh picked the Chiefs. I picked Mahomie and the Chiefs too.
I also picked the Chiefs.
Okay. So then we've got this would be a tough one for Josh if you were on the set. So, it's good that he just gave his pick and didn't have to agonize over it on the set. But the Broncos at the Chargers. Chuck?
I hate this game.
I know.
I hate it.
The Broncos aren't really as good as they've been playing.
And Chargers
the Chargers
are
like to give
supposed
it
to
away.
be the cat's meow. They were supposed to be really good this
They
year.
like to give it away. What do you got?
With that said, I went with the Chargers.
Okay.
I don't know why I went with the Chargers.
Okay. And Josh agonizing, I'm sure. Which one will disappoint him this week? He went with the Chargers. And Joey went with the Chargers. And of course, I'm going to go with my boy Herbert. And
The
Chargers.
I'm
Or
gonna go-
A-Bear, as I like to call him. The French way you say it, like Bobby A-Bear from the Saints.
And I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Oh, okay. All right. This game, the game of two teams that most people dislike. I don't think as many people dislike the Eagles. But Eagles at Cowpokes. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, I don't think the Eagles are as bad as they played last week. I just think they had a bad game. But I took the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah. Joey picked the Cowboys. And Josh picked the Eagles. What do you got, Tommy?
The Eagles.
Yes. I picked the Eagles, too. I honestly think the Eagles are going to wipe the floor with them in Dallas and embarrass them. I just really think so. We got two Monday night games this week, and of course one of them's a New York team. Well, stunning. This whole year when there's been two Monday night games, one's been a New York team. It's like
They
yes.
realize their teams stink.
And they got to put them on.
They
somehow.
both stink.
Yeah, I know. They
always
both
do.
stink. And most of the time they stink and they put them on a lot. I still want to know why the Buccaneers and the Browns, the Buccaneers who made the playoffs last year, the Browns who are going to make it this year, and everyone knew was going to be better, why didn't they get a Sunday night game? It's unbelievable to me.
Especially when all the analysts and everything say the Browns were going to be a
Yeah.
team to beat.
And the thing used to be, if you made the playoffs the year before, you got them on Sunday or when it was Monday night, you got one of those games. So they both should have been on at some point. Now they have to get flexed.
Division games should be your Sunday night and your Thursday night games,
Yeah.
whenever possible.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. I feel like there's a chance. Buccaneers really can't lose the rest of the way. They pretty much have to win almost every game. But there's a chance that both those teams could get flexed the last couple weeks. But there's also a chance they won't. So then we got the first Monday night game, the Monday night game that ESPN won't promote at all. Titans at Dolphins. What have you got, Chuck?
I took the Dolphins. My thing here shows that the Dolphins should wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, they should. Tennessee's just not good. And Josh,
Feels like the Dolphins don't play anybody good.
Josh, Joey, and myself, we all picked the Dolphins also. What do you got, Tommy?
Well, it seems like the Dolphins are playing yet another terrible opponent, as it seems like they do most of the time.
Yeah.
As 99.03% of America has said, I will go with the Dolphins.
It's up to that now. What it is.
Not even 1% of people.
Wow. So you know what that means? Titans are winning.
Got a few Homer fans that are sticking with their Titans.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
So then we got the Packers at the Giants. Come on, the Giants. Why are they on national TV for the fourth or fifth time? It's just amazing. We know why, because they're New York, but it still bothers me. What do you got, Chuck?
The Packers, they win this game. They're in the playoff picture now.
They are, yeah. I need them to lose.
I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah. Josh and Joey both picked the Packers, and even though I need them to lose, I'm going with the Packers too. What do you got, Tommy?
Packers.
Packers? New York, Green Bay Packing Company. Okay. So we got then. Where's it? Right up here? Yeah, there we go. We got Buccaneers at Falcons. And what do you got, Chuck?
Well, I think it's going to be a good game and a tight game. And when it's going to be a good game and a tight game, I'll take the home team. I'll take the Falcons.
Okay. Well, Joey and what?
I thought you were going to say,
No.
well.
Well, I'll give my information why I think Joey, Josh both picked the Buccaneers, And the reason I picked the Buccaneers is because throughout their history, the Falcons play good in Tampa, and the Buccaneers play good in Atlanta. It's nuts. It's always been that way. I'll never forget when Michael Vick was playing, and the Buccaneers beat him. Buccaneers were not good that year, and they beat him. And Michael Vick blamed that they watered the turf too much before the game. That's why he couldn't move around like normal. But that's how it is. It's that series. Like they lost in Tampa. I think I picked the Falcons that week because Tampa Bay does not beat them in Tampa Bay. They beat them in Atlanta. And it's just weird like that, but it is. Who are you going with?
The Falcons.
Are you? Okay. All right. So, we got the final game of the week. Jeez, what am I doing here? We got the final game of the week. The Jaguars at the Browns. None of us, not you, not me, not Tommy, not Bob Dole, not Joe, because you know he used to say, you know, I know, Bob Dole knows, yeah. Joey, Jock, none of us know who the starting quarterback's going to be for either team.
Yeah, it's going to be Flacco for the Browns.
No excuses. None of us know who the starting quarterback is.
It's going to be Flacco for the Browns. He's been taking first team reps all week.
Whatever. Okay? None of us know for sure. I believe Dorian Thompson-Robinson took first team reps that week too. He did against the Ravens. Yes, he did. Because they didn't say whether Watson was going to play or not. Yes, he did. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's
So-
because Watson couldn't move his shoulder.
So, Chuck. Well, until Sunday morning, he was going to play.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson's been practicing. Taking second team.
Lord. Okay. Chuck?
Until the Browns can prove to me they can win at home when it matters. And yeah, the Steelers mattered, Baltimore mattered, but this
matters.
This matters.
Yeah.
I took the Jaguars.
December matters.
I took the Jaguars.
Okay. Josh, Joey, and I all pick the Browns. After the Jaguars couldn't beat the Bengals, you know, at home the other night, I just feel like I gotta go with the Browns. I mean, unless the Browns completely crap the bed, I can't see them losing.
So, I've been watching the Browns the last 2 weeks. And it just I don't know, something about it. I feel like there's an epic collapse coming. An epic collapse.
Somebody else.
They may only finish with 8 wins or 7 wins even.
Yeah, I just don't have I
am picking the Jaguars.
I do not have a good feel about this game.
It was Tim O'Brien.
When
there were 7 games left.
They were 7 and
feel
3.
the same way, Chuck?
I do.
They were 7 and 3, and I would not be surprised if they end with 7 or 8 wins.
The former Lake County Captain's assistant general manager and broadcaster. I was texting with him, and there were 7 games left at this time, and he said to me, when I thought with those 7 games left they would go 4-3, because I had predicted 4-4 and they just lost. He said to me with 7 games left, I could easily see 1-6. It's like, and they've done this a lot. They have collapsed a lot. You know, I mean, so I guess it could happen again.
And I don't really think it matters who the quarterback's going to be Sunday. I just don't see them winning. I want them to win. Don't get me wrong, but
and yes, and there are injuries on the defense now.
well,
But
Ward is probably going to play, from what I'm
Yeah, he probably has
hearing.
been practicing. So.
you know, that's one of the things that your defense gets weaker a lot of times as the year goes on. And that's what's happened because they've had injuries. You know, Myles Garrett's not completely healthy.
Oh, he didn't even have a tackle last week.
Yeah,
First clear game, he didn't at least have a tackle.
I
mean, he was non-existent last week.
So
He shouldn't have played probably.
No,
Probably
he might
not.
really.
And it might be the stupid Browns letting guys play.
they do. They let guys play when they say, or they're not healthy enough. You know, everybody wanted to blame Baker Mayfield for playing last year, but not his fault. They needed to say, we talked about it on the show last year, they needed to say, no, you're not playing. You are hurt. You are going to hurt the team playing hurt. And I felt like the same, I just felt that last week with him too. I was like, you're not showing you're a good teammate by playing when you're hurt.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. But, so, you know, I don't know. I think they'll win this week, but I'm still saying 10-7. I'm still saying
if they finish 10-7, I think it's going to be enough to get them in.
Oh, I think 10-7 gets them in.
If they win this week, and I feel like this week matters a lot. Like if they win this week, they could win 11 games. If they lose this week, they could win 8.
No, I feel like, well, yeah, okay. I feel like it's the same thing with the Buccaneers. If they don't win this week, it's done. It's done.
They'll be fine.
Next week on the show, I'm conceding if they lose this week.
I mean, if they
But I don't think they're going to lose this week.
5-8, right?
And I'm thinking, yeah. And I'm thinking the Browns got to go 10-7 to make the playoffs. And God, they better go 10-7 to make the playoffs. Because if the Buccaneers go 9-8 and win their division, I know someone sitting to my right who's going to have a stroke. Because when it happened in 2007, when the Browns had a better record than the Buccaneers, and he was not happy. He was a lot younger then, but still, he was not happy. And I still bring that up every once in a while. I don't know, not every once in a while, probably like quite often. But that's pretty much it. I think we've covered everything tonight. Oh, I want to say one more thing before we go. Yesterday, and we're a sports show, but yesterday we lost one of the greatest people ever in the history of television. When Norman Lear passed away. Like Norman Lear, you know who he is, Tom. You know who he is because he created All in the Family.
Oh yeah.
Sanford and Son,
Yeah.
Maude, Good Times, The Jeffersons. Yeah. So you watched a lot of his shows.
That's pretty good.
What do you think about those shows?
He was 101 years
Yeah.
old.
Yes.
It's a good life.
And you know he was still involved in TV production until he was 100. And he said in this interview I saw yesterday, what keeps him going is he said, I've spent so much time in I forget how big he said what the room is, he meant a studio, with 300 people and a cast. And for the last 75 years, I've helped make them laugh. And if that buys me 20 seconds or 2 weeks of a longer life, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, think of the people he's made laugh. That guy's was unbelievable.
Yeah, some of those shows you just mentioned were all good shows.
So funny and so realistic.
Real quick here before we finish this too. I just saw this thing, got an alert.
What?
Marvin Harrison Jr. has been offered NIL deals from Ohio State boosters that would compete with being a top 5 pick, meaning that they would be willing to give him $20 to $25 million to come back.
Oh, I thought nobody ever got over 1.5 million.
Well, they don't, but he's different than Kyle McCord.
Okay.
So.
Well, so that's it. And
I still don't
I wanted
think he's
to end
coming
on the
back.
positive Norman Lear.
Kyle McCord's dad says he wants $3 million to go
Well,
to Nebraska.
But we're going to run long here, and we don't want to run long. We got to go. Chuck's got a family engagement to go to.
Correct.
At the Cow. So we will be back next week, hopefully on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll do Tuesday next week, and we'll go 45 minutes. So until next week, I'm Tim Shire for my co-host Josh Dome, for my broadcast partner Chuck Kolchak, for Tommy Shire. We'll see everybody next week. Have a good week.